Hang tight, ladies and gentlemen.
Do we have it? There he is.
Hey.
Kato, can you hear us?
He might be muted.
Is your mic on?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
K-Train in the house.
K-Train, how are you, buddy?
What's up, you guys?
What's up, buddy?
Cheers.
How you doing?
Not much. It's good to see you. Can you see us? Oh, you know what? We're out of...
Yeah, do you want me to turn my phone sideways?
Will that help? Okay. I can turn mine. If I turn it sideways, can you see us better?
I see you great.
Yeah. I'm trying to pan so you can see everyone.
Not when you pan. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Yeah, I see, but you have to... it's only on YouTube, and I forgot the name.
Oh, so this is my brother Sean. You've met him before at the show.
Yeah, I know Sean.
Yep.
In the back here, this is John and Ryan. I'll try to pan to
Johnny
everybody.
and Ron, good.
Hey, buddy.
What's up, buddy?
So how you been, man?
This is for you, Scott. I'm going to cry.
That was beautiful. You know, you pegged one of my questions. I was going to say, Kato, I've seen you with your piano on Instagram. Do you really play? And now I'm convinced that you do.
I'm getting a little better, but not ready to go on stage. And I do all these things called cameos, and people just happen to love them. And I do little jokes, and I write all my own bits. And when I get the comments for these people, they just love it. And I always throw in my jokes at my. Oh, sorry, my Apple's ringing. Anyways, I'm gonna. Shit, one sec. It is my Apple. And I really believe. Kato.
Got him.
Oh boy. You have been on stage. You joined us on stage when we used to do the cons.
Yeah.
Sean reminded me.
By the way, we're doing the show now, right? We're on.
We're on. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
This is part of the show. Welcome to 99 Stories, and this is one.
It's so great to know that. The cons. I'm still very dear friends with John Mata. If you guys don't know, John was the CEO, and also he ran Warner Brothers for 29 years. So that was seriously, probably my top 3 best gigs of my life. I used to host a show called Eye for an Eye with this guy who had his name Extreme Akeem with a baseball bat of justice. The most fun, travel over the world. And then John got me this job, and Scott, you know what it was like traveling, how much fun it was.
So
and
much
everybody
fun.
became instant friends. The camaraderie was, it's amazing. And I'm still in touch with pretty much everybody. And I'm actually going to do a Comic-Con. I leave in April to do the tape segments for comedy. If you remember Shawnette.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Shawnette's going to have one Comic-Con for the Outlander TV show and Last Kingdom. So I'll MC that. So we're going to shoot comedy segments in April, and I'll tape that out in July. Actually, I'm going to mention you guys if possibility for a music act.
I would love
That'd
that.
be great.
I miss playing conventions so much because we haven't done it since the shutdown in Cleveland is the last time I got to see you in person. And then,
are you doing Cleveland? I know you're from Ohio. Are you going to be in Cleveland?
That would be right now. So the Fan Expo is right now.
It's this weekend
as we speak.
Yeah.
And we did play for them last year. So we stayed in contact with all our old Wizard folks who stayed on with the new company. Yeah. But I don't believe they have an entertainment stage. Or if they do, we just didn't get the call, and that's okay.
John and Ryan, you guys in music?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we all play in a band together, Kato.
So I got to tell you a story then. You guys will love it.
Okay.
So in the 90s, I was really popular. So I used to introduce and go to bands and shoot videos. And I was in Chicago, and I was emceeing where I introduced a band called Smashing Pumpkins. I'm sure you know.
Woohoo!
Nice.
And then I introduced a band called Pantera that was with them. Mm-hmm. So they make their own liquor, and I'm not a drinker. I get migraines, but they had their own homemade liquor. They're from Texas. And I became friends with the band. I did a music video. They filmed backstage. And so while that's going on, I stayed in contact with these guys. And Dimebag Darrell, do you remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was very funny guy, became friends. And then a few weeks later, if you guys remember, he was in Pantera and another group. Well, he was in, I think, Ohio.
It was Columbus.
Yeah, the Orosa Villa.
A guy shot him in the head.
Yep.
So I got to show you something.
Yeah, that happened at the Alrosa Villa in Columbus,
he gave me his
Ohio.
guitar.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Dude.
That's
You
insane.
can see my name engraved right there in marble, Kato.
Wow.
Oh, man.
That
So
was
that
Dime's
guitar.
guitar.
So that is a guitar
That is a
from.
Dimebag Daryl
So
Washburn
you're holding
original.
it. Is that a flying V?
No, it's his own
Flying V
style
Washburn.
Washburn. Yeah.
You can see where it says on top, Dime.
Yeah.
It was his signature series. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Given
wonderful.
to me, and I thought this is the first show that I'm actually telling people. I was on a show at Blad TV. It went great. I told the story, and everybody kept asking questions about the guitar. And now I have with you guys, and I'm showing you.
Oh,
this.
thank you
I
for
don't
great.
showing
Man,
us.
that's a
That's
great share.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Our local radio DJ phoned me the morning that happened in Columbus, and it was so
Yeah,
sad.
I'll put it down.
Some of us had met him before. We went to the Pantera meet and greets, and you're right, just such cool people.
Isn't that? Yeah, they're great people. And the video is on one of their albums. It comes with a CD that has my segments at the concert in Chicago opening with the Pumpkins, and I was with Billy Corrigan and Pantera, and they brought their homemade liquor, and everybody was doing shots. One of the greatest times ever.
Was that the stuff they called Blacktooth Grin? It was like part crown and part something, and you.
It must be extremely strong.
Yeah.
I still, to this day, wake up with a .08 from that.
No, that's awesome.
I know, and I know Scotty. Scotty said, "Kato, give me a story," and I said, "That story is one of my greatest stories ever."
That's
No,
fantastic.
that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. What a beautiful guitar too.
Now, hey, Kato,
Oh,
hey, I got a question. Do you have any good stories about Scott?
Oh, geez.
Anything that he did, you're like, this guy.
Yes, at Wizard World I think it was in Columbus. I think Scotty was in the men's room next to me, and I had to help him because he said his nails were wet. Scotty everybody loved Scotty, and when Scotty had his long hair,
Oh, yeah.
3 or 4 other girls that come up that were, I know Scott's married, but they were hitting on him big time. He didn't even know it. He's so humble because they're going, "Where's that dude with the long hair? That he's got that great voice." So and when Scott and Tim would actually do the shows, and when I saw them on the list, I'd have an MC list, and I'd go. They opened the show and they closed it. I said, "This is going to be a great Comic-Con," and that's just the truth.
That's
They
awesome.
were,
Thanks,
you know.
No,
And then after you get to know the guys, you start coming up with ideas, and we started doing Name That Tune, where we give out giveaways. And I just think I've heard from other people going to Fan Expo, people miss that stuff.
Yeah.
And I haven't been to one, but Shawnette and I stay in touch, and she goes, "Man, it's just not the same."
It's not.
It isn't.
I wish them the best.
No,
Yeah.
we like I said, we were fortunate enough to get to do one last year, and it wasn't. I'm not just saying this because you're with us today, but it was nothing without you. You were the host with the most, and the energy that you had every single show all day for God. Those were like 12-hour days sometimes.
Yeah.
And to be as intense and entertaining, and they're missing that. They are totally missing that. And then I even got to go to GalaxyCon. With free tickets, a friend of mine who used to work with us. I won't name drop because I don't want to get him in trouble for giving me tickets. But theirs was the same thing. It was an enjoyable con, but it didn't have the energy of a Kato-led entertainment stage. There was no fun karaoke afterwards. There was no music, and it's almost like, hey, pay $60, come in, and then just buy some stuff and go home. There was no like. We used
Hey, hang out for a while.
We
Come
used
have
to,
fun.
yeah, you could spend a day with Kato and Broken Transmitter and all these other bands and cosplay contests, all these great things. You could spend the whole day, make friends. Yes, money is spent. Yes, pictures are taken. But I always thought you gave people a real experience, and we were just happy to be there and be part of that.
Oh yeah, there was the Wizard World was so well planned with all the gigs they did, all the stuff they planned and how they did it. And my favorite city, I think, was probably one of the few. But I always loved it because I'd MC a New Year's Eve party in Portland, and from that it was for the WB. And I'd go right that next day. I'd go to New Orleans, and New Orleans is great. And a funny Wizard World story was we all went to dinner, and I'm at dinner with some of the Wizard World people, but Jason Momoa, Aquaman, is at our table. We're all eating together. But Emerald comes up to me and goes, "I got to get a picture with Kato." And I said, "Emerald, I love you. What about Jason?" And he looked and goes, forget Kato. I got to get a picture of Jason Momoa.
You got one up.
He got me. Oh, Emerald got me big time.
Bam.
And I kept going, Jason, you should try the fish. I'm kidding.
Got him.
We ate at Emerald's. My brother and I were just in New Orleans last year, right? Last year in September, I think. That's one of my favorite cities in the whole country. I love New Orleans so much.
Yeah, now you got to wear a flak jacket because it's the highest crime rate city in America now.
Is it? It's surpassed all the others. Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh, it's number one. It's a scary, scary, scary place. I just remember going on the French Quarter when I was there a few times, and all the horse crap that was on there, and I was so disgusted. I actually saw the rats in the street, and I was like, "Oh my God, they got to clean this place up."
Yeah.
No offense to New Orleans, but it was dirty.
It's part of its charm.
There's definitely a feeling there.
It's part of the pirate nature. You know, it's a very very piratey.
Very good luck to step in horse shit, they say.
That sets the tone for the entire time. Kato, something we do on this show every week. Now, normally our show is only audio. We're Zooming with you, which is great to see you. It's so good just to see you again.
Yeah, I want to see you anyway. I'm glad we're Zooming.
As people listen to us on Spotify when this comes out, it'll be audio only for that part of the release. But we talk about some old toys and knickknacks and collector stuff, maybe even stuff you would find at Comic-Cons and things like that. And I wanted to show you, I still have my favorite thing ever, the Kato bobblehead. Can you see that? We got this a couple years ago.
Of course I see it, dude. I love the bobblehead.
This is my favorite thing. This rode on our dash in our tour van for those 2.5 years that we got to be with the show. And what a talisman. It was so great. And we would film our little videos, and we would look at your bobblehead for approval. Like, is that right, Kato? Oh, yeah. He agrees.
That's me with the shakes every morning.
Too much coffee.
Yeah, that's it. No, yeah, I have a few of the bobbleheads here. I was shooting videos this week, and I have a friend of mine, you guys might know him. His name's Tom Mabe. And Tom Mabe, if you Google him later, he's got 5 million followers on YouTube. He's kind of like the godfather of pranks.
Nice.
Extremely funny. But I'm blown away of the kind of money you get for shooting videos. It's Facebook and YouTube, and they've got more money than network TV.
I bet.
That's what I'm saying. When I say how much money that he makes, they make a month, I can't say, but it's astronomical. Yeah. So he came in town for 5 days. I put him up with another buddy, and we shot the silliest videos in the world, but they're getting 100,000 views in a day, then 1 million. That's like, oh my God. I mean, it's utterly amazing. And while that's going on, I just shot a really great TV pilot, and just finished 3 of the episodes, and it's called Teen Court.
Really?
And it's real issues with teens. They have, they're suing their parents. Okay. And we have John Gray's the judge. If you know who John Gray is, he's also a huge influencer with millions of followers. He's the pastor. He doesn't talk religion on the show, but he's the judge. Sure. He's Oprah's pastor, and he's got a huge following. I'm the MC. I'm the court reporter, but I interview the jury, and I do my little Kato stuff. Yeah. And so, like, we have a names, image, likeness case of the guy 16. He's making big money, but his mom wants all the money. And then we got someone that wants a Brazilian butt lift because she watches the Kardashians. Anyways, we have them suing their parents. It's excellent. And then I just sold a show called Wrong Place, Wrong Time. Finally sold it. Took 7 years, and now we're in the next phase. And it's a true crime show. And it's people that, like myself, that were at the wrong place at the wrong time, and how their life has changed. So life has been extremely busy, and loving it.
But that's wonderful, and I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you're a busy guy, because, I mean, you touched on it. Every time I tell people that we got to work together, instantly they know where they remembered you from back in the day. But I'm like, oh, but he does all this other cool stuff. You got to talk to him. He's so good. Like, there's always so much other stuff that's great going on now. Even like I was telling these guys when you did CBS Big Brother, we loved watching you on that. That was a great time. You and Tom Green ruling.
That was a life changer too, because everybody started knowing me from that, not so much the trial, and they would talk about the Big Brother.
That's great.
It was the week, and then Wizard World gave me the stage and my own booth to sign. Yeah. So I knew it was a big success. Yeah, and I'm still in touch with Tom Green and the friendship that started. And I think that's why I'm getting all these different. I do a podcast myself called 1 Degree of Scandalous.
Yes.
And because of that podcast, that's where I'm getting into the true crime genre. That's where I got people that wanted to meet. And I think that when they see you actually talking and having really, really, sort of these erudite guests that we get on our show, it's sort of like, hey, we like Kato.
Yeah, there's a lot to this guy. Why aren't we using this guy for more things? Yeah, he's got more depth than we thought, and we can use this.
And even though your kids didn't know the K Train, or they did know the K Train from Big Brother.
Yeah, so when you got the call to do that show, I remember you couldn't say anything to us. You were like, hey, something really great's going to happen to me. I'm going to be gone for a couple weeks. I won't be in this city or where you were off for a few weeks while we were touring the con together. And we're like, oh, he can't talk about it. I wonder what this is. Maybe it's and then I thought, what would sequester you in a way that you have to be in real time and it can't wait. Well, he's either filming a movie or this is like one of those reality shows. And then it was like announced officially. It was announced officially that it was like, oh, he's going to be on Celebrity Big Brother. So we watched from home every week when it would air. And my kids would be like, I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't. And so my kids would be like, Dad, what are you doing? Because me on the couch watching TV doesn't happen a lot. I can't sit still to watch a show that often. And I'm like, oh, that's my friend Kato, and I want to see if he does well. I'm hoping he does. And they're like, you don't know that guy. Because you're on TV, and that instantly makes you like not a real person. And I'm like, no, that's my friend. Yeah. We work together, and I'm going to see him in Cleveland. I'll introduce you, and then I told you that before the show started, and you said, well, what's their names? I'm going to screw with them. And when Ann and the girls walked through the door, he was like, Rowan, Cora, and he went ham, and the whole place looks over, and they were so embarrassed, which was exactly what I wanted, and you nailed it. It was so good.
I remember, and I actually before the Big Brother, I know that CBS they bring a film crew. They came to Wizard World in New Orleans, and I did without anybody knowing who they were. They did all my segments.
Your background story,
yeah, the background story was all on stage at Wizard World in New Orleans. It's a small world, John and Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Them guys are still with you. Yeah, and then Sean reminded me, too, some of the times, like you said, you'd never really been on stage, but we got you on stage the one time. I think it was Texas.
Yes, you did.
And maybe it was Columbus if you were there. You did Jessica W.J. with us by Cayucas. Do you remember? We used to jam that song together.
I love Cayucas.
Yeah,
Jessica.
I love that song, too.
Scott, I know that you and I have a lot of the same music. There's some great. God, I really like the alternative stuff that's coming out. There's I think the band's called Boyhood, called Stroke It. I don't know if you heard that one.
No, I will check.
I know
out.
it's a funny title called Stroke It, but it's
by
really
Boyhood.
And you guys know that song by Debbie? I heard this song at least 3 months ago. And I said, this person's going to be huge, and it's really good. Called it's by Debbie Friday. So hard to tell. Have you heard this?
I haven't. I had to
Sean, get your phone while we're talking.
Yeah,
go
right.
to YouTube and get Debbie Friday. Listen to the first 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a song that I just know. Like my buddy produces a show right now on Amazon called Bridget Jones and the Six.
Oh yeah. I haven't watched it yet, but I've seen the previews. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, he's the one that created Teen Court, which I just shot.
Nice.
The one I was telling you about. So but I know sort of like what people like to listen to in the kids. So if you hear this song, you gotta hear the first minute. It just says.
Do you remember what the name of it is?
Friday.
Yeah, so hard to tell. I got it.
That's it.
So hard to tell. Well, now hold on. We're gonna listen to that off air though, so we don't get the royalty thing, because I can't have the song in the show. But we're gonna put a pin in that so we can get to that.
Love it.
That's the only downside to the podcast thing is I got to make sure it's original content.
We don't own the rights.
You
to
always
this
had
music.
the best taste in music, and Tim and I would try to stump you with new alternative rock songs, and Kate would be the only guy in the room who's like, oh, I know that band. And sometimes you'd met that band, or you know the drummer from the Black Keys, and he lives closer to us than you do, and you know him and we don't, which is great. But he always has his finger on the pulse of modern rock.
Patrick Carney. Carney, great guy. I live in Toluca Lake. He used to live in Toluca Lake, and then he got married to Michelle Branch, the singer.
No kidding.
I forgot that.
Now that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
I heard she was everywhere. Is that
She's
true?
everywhere.
She
She's
is
everywhere.
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, so I went to their concert. He invited me to see them a bit ago. I think they're still together. I don't know. I know they just had two kids. I think just had. So
yeah.
But he is also a great guy. When they came to LA, he just he called and said come backstage, and there was just a huge Hollywood shindig party. It was great.
No, that must be a good time. No,
that's called name dropping.
No, well, I remember. So I remember we were in, I want to say Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we'd come down.
That actually was one of my favorite also cities.
We came down the small cities are great.
Yeah,
Tulsa's great. I mean, I've never seen Oklahoma City, but if it's a bigger version of Tulsa, I would go because it had a great vibe to it. But we were.
Now, who are you going to say came by? Who came by Tulsa?
So we were coming down for breakfast at the hotel. You remember how the con would buy out like a whole series of rooms, and so we all kind of were by each other, like all the celebs and all of us that worked there. Everybody kind of was in the same area. So we came down for breakfast, and then we didn't know where to sit because we scanned the room. And we're like, oh God, we can't. We're nobody. Who are we going to sit with? And you flagged us over. It saved our lives, and you were like, oh, sit with us. And it was you and Tom Nicholas and Billy Boyd from Lord of the Rings. And I want to say some of the Wizard World upper staff, like some of the management and stuff. And I just remember we sat there so quiet because we were starstruck by yourself and everybody sitting at the table like, oh, God, I can't believe we're sitting at this table. Don't be a fool.
Well,
Don't,
to tell you the truth, though, I gotta tell you about that story. I actually thought you worked at the hotel and I wanted more scrambled eggs. Excuse me, coffee, eggs.
I'd have gladly got up off my chair and gotten you more coffee and eggs at any point.
I remember. But
you said,
you guys are amazing on stage.
You said you guys are from Cleveland, and we're like, close to Akron. You go, oh, Akron, you must know Patrick Carney, and that's how we started talking about Black Keys. And I'm like, of course, you just have his phone number in your phone, and you guys are friends, because of course. And that was it's such an odd thing to guys like us who, we live in Northern Ohio, and it really is like cornfields and nothing out here. Every
cornfields and dealerships.
He's Akron, but now he's Nashville.
Oh, absolutely, and he should be. They've done wonderful things, but that was just such a big part of doing that tour and being with that convention was, like I said, meeting people like yourself and basically everybody that we met, fans and celebrities alike, and entertainers, and it was a really cool class of people to get to tag along with.
Well, I'll tell you, with Scott, and I'm sure you guys all agree, and maybe you guys all play together. Mm-hmm. I think you're successful because you are, first of all, a hustler. People like you, and you always have like something going. You got a CD you give out. I mean, you always perform, and you're always writing, and you're always playing. And I think that's the key. You just got to keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And it's like you're always doing it. So I imagine I follow you on social media, and it seems like you're at a lot of clubs. You play. Are you guys all together? Or are you
so my brother and I have played in probably every band I've ever played in. Sean has done something with us.
And you the longest.
Yeah, Joe Joe isn't here today. That's our drummer. He's got some stuff going on. But John and Ryan here, we've all been in a group. We're called Imaginary Cookies, and it's going on 20 years already.
Imaginary Cooks?
Imaginary Cookies.
Cookies.
Oh,
Cookies. Yeah. We do. It's like fun pop party music. We've written originals, but we get a lot of work doing kind of like what the con was, pop covers, party stuff.
Right.
But yeah, all of us, and that's why we decided to do this podcast, 99 Stories, and this is one, because we have so many wacky tales about being on the road. The same kind of stuff that you go through.
Yeah.
The weird days at airports, kind of what you do on your Instagram videos, like. You're entertaining yourself and you're making content by playing little stupid games, or you say something funny and it becomes a bit, but really you're killing time because you're on a layover for 6 hours at the airport, or you're driving 16 hours to Tulsa, or there's so many times where you're like, I either need to keep working or I'm going to be bored to death because I don't go on stage for 8 hours. I'm in a foreign place to me. So let's just make something. Let's do a stupid video. Let's write a song.
You never know what it leads to. It's weird because when I did that, there was a company that saw that stuff, and they're an influence company, influencers. So now they're talking to Southwest to do my little bit. So we'll see what happens.
Dude, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Nice.
I hope that you get to be the commercial voice for that, because your airport antics
even the social
could be
media voice.
all of it.
It'd be great. Yeah. So yeah, I fly out. I got married. I think you might have met my fiance back then. Maybe not. She came to 2 shows. But anyways, got married. Now we're heading out Wednesday to do an event in Orlando, Florida. It's actually a place called Celebration, Florida. It is so much fun. It's with I think Kevin Nealon is a comedian.
Oh yeah, SNL.
I think and then Joe Piscopo. I think Ario Speedwagon and Styx.
Hell yeah.
And anyways, we do a 110-mile road a race. I mean, there's dinner, there's a charity. It's a 3-day event. And
that's awesome.
They sent me my car that I'll be driving. I mean, it's a huge. You guys can Google it. It's the exotic car show, and it's covered on Fox Sports, and it's a biggie. But they gave me the James Bond Casino Royale DB Aston Martin I'll be driving.
Whoa, our dad would be jealous of that. He's a big Bond guy.
Oh yeah, I love that. He's probably Sean Connery guy. Me too.
He is a Roger Moore guy.
Yeah.
We all can be wrong.
For his birthday once, we got a. And Ryan says you can be wrong.
Sean Connery.
Of course,
all the way.
it's Pierce Brosnan.
Well, I like Daniel Craig. I think he's all right.
Was good.
Everybody kind of turned that down. They poo-pooed me.
He was good.
No, but
Sean Connery back in the day used to be a roofer when he was shingled. Okay.
Shingles, you say?
Yes, of course. Funny funny. I just can't say that no more.
The day's mine.
Well, Kato, we're going to let you get back to it. We know you're a busy guy. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, thank you so much.
I love it, you guys. I love it.
Love you, man.
What's 99 problems?
99 stories. You're close. 99 stories, and this is one. I'll send you the link when this is up, and we'll share it with the world. But
and tell me, not that I'm crazy in love with that song, but tell me your opinion. I think it's one of those things that you will really dig. The one I sent.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll message you.
We'll do it off air. Yeah.
Yep. We'll listen to it as soon as we're off here. We usually go about an hour, so the boys will talk here for another 15 or so, and then we'll wrap it up.
All right. Hey, Scott, great to see you. Sean.
Good to see
you.
Yes,
Ryan.
Nice to meet you, man.
You guys.
Thank you.
Love you, Kato. Talk
you.
to you soon.
Yep.
Wasn't that guitar cool?
That was super sweet.
Hey,
thank you for sharing that, man.
if you ever want to sell that, Kato, let me know.
See you. Bye.
See you. Thanks, buddy.
Hop on the K train.
Hop on the K train. Woo!
Oh, Kato_Kaelin. Mention that.
Kato_Kaelin. That's where you find him on all the socials, and he puts out good content all the time. We'll keep hyping you up the rest of the show, buddy.
I love it.
Love
See you.
it.
Bye, everybody.
See you, man.
See ya.
See you, Kato.
Bye.